So let me start. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So today our topic is how we can do the solar cloud setup with Zookeeper for Sitecore XP. Uh, so as Rohan told about our introduction that I'm Koushik Mukherjee, I do not want to waste much time here. So I'm a Sitecore lead and Sitecore MVP. So you can connect me in LinkedIn and as well as in my email ID. With me, I have Chandan. Chandan, if you please introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Koushik. So I'm a senior developer and working in Sitecore for more than 12 years. So I have worked in Sitecore 6 to Sitecore 10.4, the other version of Sitecore, along with XM Cloud, Sitecore CDP, Sitecore Connect, Sitecore Personalize. And I have many blogs. So for the Solar Cloud, I have just been in the chat, so you can follow that one. Yeah, thanks, Koushik.
Thank you,
What?
Chandan. So today our agenda is first we will discuss about a brief of Solar Cloud, what it is. Then we will try to understand what is Zookeeper and what are the facility of using a Zookeeper. And then why we should use Zookeeper with Solar Cloud. And then how we can configure, how we can do the setup and the connection string in Sitecode XP, and some key points we need to remember. And of course, we will actually give you a demo, show you a demo that how you can do it practically. And then there will be a question answer session. So what is the Solar Cloud and what it offers? So I hope that we all know that we use Solar with Sitecode XP most of the cases. So Solar Cloud is mainly actually offered by Apache Solr, but it is an indexing engine and it supports distributed, scalable, faulty tolerant search services. And it also what does it mean that it's distributed indexing and search? That means that you can split your data into different shards so that each handle a subset of the data. So queries can run across all the shards. Then also it's offered replication. So what is replication? Replication means that each shard can have multiple replicas. So that if one node is fall, another replica can take over. So that is another facility we have in Solar Cloud. Faulty tolerance, that means that it is high availability. When one nodes fail, the system can recover and elect a new leaders. So that actually, it runs with a leader and follower concept. So if one node is failed, the leader node is failed, the another follower will automatically be the leader. So it has high availability. Also the configuration. If we actually implement this using the Zookeeper, the configuration of the Solar Cloud can be managed from a centralized area. A central configuration is there. So configuration means you can manage the state, configuration, leader election, assignment of shards and replicas, everything from a single configuration system. And finally, the automatic load balancing and failover for queries. I mean, query can be sent to any node and the system routes them automatically. If one node is down, it actually automatically picks the another one. So these are some of the offers the Solar Cloud has. So what are the key differences between Solar and Solar Cloud? So Solar had a master and slave model. So if one server is handle the master and other is the slave, replicate for the search. So scaling failover, if you need scaling or if you need failover, that need to be managed manually. But if we think about Solar Cloud automatically manage all these things. It manages the leaders, the routing, handling node failure automatically without any manual intervention. So that is the main difference between a Solar and a Solar Cloud. Next, why we use Zookeeper? Zookeeper is also Apache offers a Zookeeper. It is a distributed coordination and configuration management service. So we use this for mainly for the large distributed system. So we can consider Solar Cloud as a large distributed system. So and here what we can do, the key functions of this Zookeeper is that we can centrally manage the configuration. So across all the Solr nodes, it actually keep consistent configuration across all the Solr nodes. The leader election, it automatically decide which Solr node will act as a leader for the each shard. Next, the cluster state management. So keep the metadata. Keep the metadata about which Solr node is currently alive, which shard and replica exist, and their current status. If it is down or up, it actually manages this cluster state also. It's synchronized. It means that ensure all the nodes agrees on the current cluster state, even during the failures. And watch mechanism. So it actually continuously checking that if a node is down, if a node is up or not, and it actually get the node it notified instantly. If a node is down, it notified instantly, so that is choose another node as a leader. So that actually key functionalities of Zookeeper. And why we should use Zookeeper for the Solrcloud? The same thing as the cluster state tracking. So for Zookeeper can manage all the metadata centrally about the collections, art, replicas, and readers. Second is that it automatically can elect the new shard leader if the current one is fails. Configuration, so you can manage the configuration centrally. You do not need to copy the config file manually to each node. Keeps node discovery keeps a live registry of which Solr node are currently active and which are down. Failover recovery, if it detects a node is down, then it trigger recovery of that particular node and also select a different leader, and it may select that one when it is recovered. It may select that one as a leader also. So this can be automatically done if we use Solrcloud with Zookeeper. Now today we prepared a demo. I created a demo, and the current architecture of the demo is that we have mainly three Zookeeper nodes. I mean, Zookeeper clustered, manage configuration and state, and we have two Solr nodes. One will run in 8983 port, another one is 89844 port. For the distributed index. And Zookeeper ensure node synchronization and fault tolerance. So we'll show you how Zookeeper ensure this node synchronization and fault tolerance, how it can manage the leaders. We'll show you that into the demo. So before we start the demo, some how we can do the configuration. Let us check that. So first of all, you must have installed Java. So you can install OpenJDK 11 and set Java environment variable. You can also check if Java is installed. You can also check this using this command java/version. It will show you the which version of Java is installed in your system. Another one, it is recommended to use NSSM. It actually helps to create the Windows services. I mean, we should run the Solr Cloud and Zookeeper as Windows services. So it will actually help, and it's pretty simple. We just need to download the nssm.cc file, extract the directory, and we can use that to create the Windows services. Now, next is set a Zookeeper clustered and configure nodes. So we created three clustered, as I informed earlier. In the D drive, we have Zookeeper 1, 2, and 3. These three clustered are there. And we actually copy all the binary files and configuration into each three folders, 1, 2, and 3. Zookeeper 1, Zookeeper 2, and 3. There is a config file called zoo.config file for each node. So we have to put unique port and data directory path over there. So these the port should be unique for all three cluster. And another thing we need to keep in mind that we need to assign the ID in myid file. There is a file called myid file. You need to open it and you need to assign the ID there. So in our case, we just gave a simple ID 1, 2, and 3. Zookeeper 1. The ID of the Zookeeper 1 is 1, 2 is 2, and 3 is 3. Simple one. And the leader and follower ports. So 38888 is the leader port, 288 is the follower port in the configuration. So here you can see for the server one, 888, 3888 for server 2, 2889, 3889, and for server 3, 2890, 3890. So these are the basic setup you need to do in the configuration. We will show you in the demo also. Next, what you need to do is that you need to make sure the port you will use to run the Zookeeper, that needs to be allowed in the Windows firewall. So let's say for in our case we are using 2181, 2182, and 2183. So you need to make sure that it is open in firewall. How you can make sure is you just run the test net connection localhost with the port. Then actually we are running it in our local environment with the localhost domain name. So you can check if the port is open or not. You need to make sure that. Also, it is recommended that the Zookeeper node runs as a Windows service. As you can see, we created the Windows service for all three Zookeepers using the NSSM. And set up the Solrcloud. So the same, we have two Solr instances. One is running in 8983, another one is 8984. Currently, we are running it using the localhost domain. So SSL certificate needs to be created accordingly. If you are using localhost, you should create SSL certificate for localhost domain. If you are using some other domain, you should have the SSL certificate for that. And also, there is a configuration in solr.in.cmd file. I hope you all know that because we usually do configuration here. So there you need to write down the Zookeeper host name. So for our Zookeeper is actually running in localhost 2181, 2182, and 2183. You need to put that like this one. Then after you did the configuration, you need to restart the Solr service and you need to run this from any of the Solr node, this one. So it will actually check that the connectivity between Solr and Zookeeper using the HTTPS communication is working properly or not using this command. So once that is done, you can see if you open your Solr admin using any of the port, you can see this screen over there. So it will actually, you can see the cluster node, SARD, and Zookeeper status. From this section, we will show you how you can check that from the admin area. And if it is down, one is down, you can also show that status from here. And you can also refer some of the Sitecore documentation for the Solrcloud setup. Finally, once everything is done from the Solr end, you need to configure the connection string in your Sitecore. So for the solr.search, we are actually using localhost with the port, but let's say in the production environment or pre-prod environment, you may have the load balance environment, you may have the domain name. You can put there the domain name and it will work as a load balanced environment. But this one is mandatory. Solrcloud equals to true. You have to put it there in the connection string. That Solrcloud is true. So these are the mainly the basic setup. And now some of the key points that you need to remember. That the basic setup, you technically need at least 3 Zookeeper. So that means that you need an odd number of Zookeeper nodes so that it actually manage the the faulty tolerance, and it actually check which one is down and which one needs to be put as a leader. So the odd number is recommended and mandatory. So at least it should be 3 so that it can choose the leader properly. You must check the port is open or not. All the ports that you are using for the Zookeeper, even for the Solr also, you need to check those ports are open or not. And if the connectivity between Zookeeper and Solr is working properly using HTTPS, that you can check with these particular commands. So that is also necessary to check. Now, what will be the situation if we are using 3 Zookeeper with a 2 Solr environment? So if one node is down, the remaining replica known and active. So it will make another one as a leader. If both nodes are down, and then what will happen? It will not able to make anyone because both nodes are down. But if both nodes are down and both starts, then it will actually compare the replicas and elect the safest leader. So these are the key points you need to remember while doing the setup. Now let's go to the demo. So I'll request Chandan if you please share your screen and show the demo.
Thanks, Koushik. Thanks. So Let me see my screen. Is it visible to you? Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you
Yeah,
are. We can
yeah,
see your
thanks.
screen.
So as Koushik said, explain all the points, and I will show you first the configuration which he mentioned in the PPT, and then I will move to the demo part. So first I will go to the Zookeeper part. So there are three software which need to be installed on your system, downloaded. First is the Java JDK that should be installed, and then we should have a Zookeeper, and then the Solr service as a standalone. So which you do manually, right? How to set up the Solr. So those should be set up first, and then we have to make a changes on top of that. So I'm going to the Zookeeper first. So once you download a Zookeeper, right, you so create three separate folders with the same folder. So you can see there is Zookeeper 1. We have a separate folder Zookeeper 2 for node 2, and we have a Zookeeper 3, node 3. So as Koushik said, we have minimum 3 Zookeeper nodes. So all those 3 folders are having the same configuration except a few settings. So I will go, and the same settings should be applied across all the 3 nodes. So let me go first to the first node. So the first important file is my ID. So if you go in the my ID, so this tells about the address of the Zookeeper node. So once it should be unique, right? Zookeeper 1 should be having the integer 1, and the other node should be 2, another node should be 3. It should be unique across all the 3 Zookeeper nodes, right? So you can see you have to create a file my ID, and you have to put the integer so that it can identify which Zookeeper node it is. So this value is used there. So this is one file Zookeeper my ID. Now going to the config files. So here again, once you download, you have to make changes in this file. This is very important for the Zookeeper. So here you can see this client port. So this port is used by Solr to communicate with Zookeeper. So this is very important. And each of the Zookeeper is having a different ports. So Zookeeper 1, I have kept 2181. For Zookeeper node 2, it should be 2182. And for Zookeeper 3, it should be 2183. It should be unique. So once you have done that, so the other important configuration here, this one. So this is called ensemble in Solrcloud. So server.1, that means the Zookeeper 1 in you have seen in the my ID I have given the number integer 1. Server.2, that means Zookeeper node 2, and server.3, this is the Zookeeper node 3. And this value will be common across all the Zookeeper nodes, right? The value which will change is the client port and this data folder. That should be unique because this folder will be unique across the Zookeeper, right? And in this configuration, here you can see I have given the local host because all my Zookeeper nodes are on the same system. So let's see in the pre-prod environment or in the higher environment, if you want to set up the Zookeeper in other systems, right? So you have to give the IP or host name. That should be unique, right? So you can make changes over here based on the IP of the system. Right? That is one thing. And if you can see the port number 28888892890. So this ports are used to communicate among the Zookeeper, right? And the port number 38883889 and 38890, this is used for the reader election among the Zookeeper. So which Zookeeper will be the reader of the out of three? So I will show you in the admin interface so how it works. So this is very important configuration, and this should be unique across all the Zookeeper nodes. So I will show you the other Zookeeper nodes. If you go here, if you see here, the same configuration, right? The same configuration is there. Just the port number I am changing, right? And the unique part will be the other change you have to do in the data folder. If you go, there is a my ID. There is a my ID, right? So it says the address of the Zookeeper. And when you start to run this as a Windows service, you have to execute this cmd jk.server.cmd. So using NSSM, you can run this as a Windows service and use this exe, right? So this is about the Zookeeper configuration. Now coming to the Solr part. So what changes you have to do? Let's see if you have a Solr standalone application running on your system. So what changes you have to do? You will go here. Go to the bin. So .in.cmd. Yeah, you have to come this. Yeah. If you see, so once your Solr service is running as a Windows service, you go and just make these changes, set this variable, right? So this says the Solr will communicate with the Zookeeper with all the three Zookeeper nodes, right? 2181, 2182, and 2183. So as you have seen in the Zookeeper configuration, I have given the port number 2181, 2182, and 2183 for each of the respective nodes. So this should be same. If it's different, it will not work, right? So this is the change you have to make in the Solr configuration, and then just restart the Solr and you will see the changes. So these are the configuration you have to make in the Solr. Now coming to the Solr interface, right? So once you are done, I mean when you restart your service, so let me refresh this one. Now I will show you all the configuration. See, you can see I am running three Zookeeper nodes. So that was running on port number 2181, one was running on 2182, and the other was on 2183. So you can see, and out of that, two is the follower and one is the reader, right? So this is about the Zookeeper. So once the system is configuration is done and the services are running, you can clock validate from here. If it's all the three are working, you can see this changes over here, right? In the Zookeeper status. And here you can see there are two nodes, right? 8983. I'm running two Solr services, one at port number 8983 and one at 8984. So you can see both are working together, right? Yeah. Let me show you this. So as Koushik shown you in the PPT, we have to execute one command, which was this. Keep remember. So this command, right, to make HTTPS, right? So this helps to communicate Solr with Zookeeper using HTTPS. And once you execute this command, the impact would be on the interface, and you can check here. You can see this file. So this property gets updated, right? So this is the impact of the changes, right? Now coming to the main part. Now I will not go how to create the index because that is a straightforward and that is given in the Sitecore documentation. So I have already created an index, right? And I will show you the demo on the index master.index, right? This is the index I am having. So you can see this index is having 8983 as a reader and 8984 as a follower. So I am having two services running on my system. So let me first, I will show you the connection string. Yeah. So this is my Sitecore connection string. Right now you can see it's pointing to 8983 and this Solrcloud should be true. Since I don't have the load balancer over here, so I have to change the port number manually over here. So let me search the item first. Let me search it. If I go to content editor, we search. So here you can see I have a test term channel. Let me search whether it's working on the first. So you can see this is working, right? And it's pointing to 8983, correct? And in the admin interface, you can see 8983 is the reader and 8984 is the follower. So I will stop the service 8983. Let me stop it. Let me go here. So this one is running at 8983. Let me stop it. Now you see. This is done, right? This is done. And let me change it to 8983. You can see the master index. Now you can see 8984. 8984 is the reader. Now you can see the status here. You can see reader active, recovering, down, and these are the status. The status gets changed whenever you make someone down or up. So right now 8983 was the reader, but now you can see 8984 is the reader out of the two, right? So since 8983 is down, so it may search now in the content whether it's working. So now we are finding for 8983 this should not work. Refresh the install. See, nothing is coming, right? Because it's pointing to 8983 and 8983 is down. Now let me make change in the configuration. But now I will make it 8984. Now this is up, right? Yeah. So now I'm finding to 8984, right? The search should work, right? Again, you can see 89. The search is working and the data is coming from the port number 8984. Now the second use case. So right now you can see 8983 is down, right? Now I will show you the example use case for the synchronization. Let's see, your port number 8983 is down. Your port number 8983 is down, right? It's down. Now I am making the content change. Now your port number 8983 is down and it has a different replica. So number 893 has a replica 1 and 8984 is having a replica 2 of the index. So let me change it. What I'm trying to say, see how this synchronization happens between the two replica. Now 8983 is down and I'm making a changes. See how the Zookeeper will synchronize the other replica when 8983 is up. I have made the change. Now I'm pointing to Koushik, searching it. See, again the search is working and it's pointing to 8984. No. When I made the changes in the item, the port number 8983 was down, right? See. I am making this port up. And see how the synchronization of this replica, the replica which port number 8983 is handling, it will get updated once it's up. So this is done by the Zookeeper. So let me change it. Now let me show this Zookeeper up 8983 is up or not. See, this is showing recovering and the status will get changed. Now we have, see, now it's showing the status of recovery 8983 because I have just made it up. It will become green after some time. Yeah, you can see the 8983 is now up, right? From recover. But the reader right now is 894 because that time it has erected 8984 is the reader because 8984 was up and 8983 was down. So again, when the situation gets changed, let's see 8984 will get down. And if it's 8983 is up, then the reader will 8983 will become the reader. Okay. So see, now I will make the connection change. I'm going to make the change. So when I made the change in the content, the 8983 was down, right? But now I have made updated. I have made it up and I'm finding to now. See the self will work or not. This is the example I will show you. I am going to content. And this one in the bottom. So, see, right now I made the changes and the what I mean to say. See now the pointing to 8983, right? And when I'm doing the search, it's the search is working fine, right? So you can see the replica of 8983 gets updated once it's up. So that is done by the Zookeeper. So there is no manual intervention. So whenever the other Solr gets up, the synchronization of the replica is done. So this way the Solrcloud works along with Zookeeper. So in the initial days we used to have a master slave concept where we have to do a manual intervention and make the changes when the Solr gets down, right? But in the Zookeeper concept, we don't have to do anything manually. It just automates everything which we used to have in the master slave concepts. And I have shared my blog on this setup, so you can follow this if you need any help on that. So I'm done with the demo part. So any question? So you can have it. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So for one of the project, let's suppose you have set up the Sitecore and then you have set up the Zookeeper with the Solrcloud and it's working fine. But after let's suppose 1 year, 2 year now, client is saying that you have to upgrade it. So you can upgrade the Sitecore, but how will you upgrade the Zookeeper and Solr versions in that case?
So you need the updated Zookeeper folder in that case, right? Because whatever the changes you have done, that has to be updated, right? Otherwise it will not work. And you need to restart the service.
No, but how will you do it on the production environment? Because you cannot stop it instantly, everything. The services should be continued.
Okay. Okay.
See,
So
there should be some downtime. I mean, it is not that you can just upgrade it automatically. There should be some downtime. And I mean, during that downtime, you need to configure and upgrade the Solr version. I mean, definitely whatever version that particular site code XP supports. So that you need to maintain there. So downtime will definitely be there as per our understanding.
And what about the data during the upgrade? Will it be there or will it be?
Yeah,
Will need to be
just like
re-indexed
we
again?
do the re-indexing after the upgrade, we usually need to do the re-indexing. You need to run the re-indexing from the Sitecore end, so that you need to run. The data folder will definitely be there, but you need to run the re-indexing again.
Okay.
The next question is, what operational challenge have you faced while implementing Solrcloud with Zookeeper? You saw example, synchronization happen automatically. Yeah, I mean, yes, we actually initially when we did the setup for our project, we faced many challenges. I mean, sometimes the port, mainly the challenges was related to the connectivity between the Solr and Zookeeper and the port open. I mean, most of the cases we found that ports are not open. Zookeeper is not able to communicate with Solr. So that those are the main challenges we faced. I mean, this I should not say that those are challenges, but that time you need to keep that in mind. I mean, those are very important part. That ports are mainly working, and the communication between Solr and Zookeeper is working with HTTPS properly. So this HTTPS problem we faced initially. Then when we did the local environment setup for our project. So accordingly, we need to finalize that how we will implement this in our production environment. So those initial challenges we faced, I mean, I must say those are not challenges, but we don't know that time that what all we need to do for the solar setup with Zookeeper in the production.
The port should be open. If the all the three zookeeper nodes should communicate between each other. If the ports are blocked, then the synchronization will not work. So and those servers should be able to communicate with zookeeper with the ports. So those testing should be done between the zookeeper and server. So those are the challenges we faced.
Yes, Praveen. Hi, Praveen.
Sorry, I was talking over mute. So thanks for answering that question. So you said like that, I mean, it's not a challenge, but then it's kind of we need to follow the steps and process
Correct.
while doing the
Yes.
configurations, right? And if
Yes.
we missed out any process, then we may definitely encounter with any challenges or any problem. Now, another one is, I mean, previously the Surendra has asked about that question, like indexing, right? So when we are porting it from normal Solar to Solar Zookeeper, then we need to manually do the indexing. So once we have did that indexing and anything and everything, but then next time if any content is got published, right? So for that time, I mean, we don't need to do any kind of it will get it reflected automatically. Is my
Correct.
understanding is correct, right? Kaushik
Correct.
and
Yeah,
Chandan.
once
Yes.
you
Correct.
publish, it will auto update. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. That's what I was just asking. Because I mean, in our current implementation or what exactly we did, right? I mean, in past, sometimes we face the challenges and we do the re-indexing or something. A lot more times, I mean, we face that challenge. But then anyway, thanks for confirming that. Yeah.
Thank you. Uh, yes, another one from Ritura. Thank you for wondering if we can if we transition to XM Cloud. There is still I don't know. Chandan, I'm sorry, I
No,
don't know the answer.
XM Cloud uses its own search operation. So those composable you
Yes,
have to use. Yeah, the SaaS
we
products.
have Sitecore search for that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if we can
Yeah.
use Solar Cloud there. So sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Any
Yes.
other question?
If you guys can raise your hand if you have any questions, but if not, I'll just wait for a minute to see if there are any more questions. Yeah, the silence says I think there is no more questions. So we can move to the last bit of the webinars that we have.